This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome back to another episode of An Anthropologist Watches amberlynn scream into a mic. And let me tell you what, I just recorded a 40-minute video, and I'm already swearing, because for whatever reason, OBS has decided that my mic doesn't exist. Thanks, OBS. Anyway, we're gonna do this, and I'm already mad, so good times. All right, anyway. Let's do this take two. Right. So, amberlynn and the Amberverse and the LCU. Let me be frank, all right? Because I've already done this once and I tried to be nice about it and I'm mad now. So, I don't like the LCU. I don't like the LCU storyline. I don't like Amber in the LCU. The Amber that's in the LCU is not the Amber that this channel started reacting to 2 years ago. Okay. And I do not like this kind of content. I wouldn't watch it if I wasn't reacting. Like if someone else was reacting to it, I wouldn't be watching it. Yeah, I think that came out right. So honestly, me reacting to this going forward is probably going to be sporadic at best. I know a lot of you started watching this channel because of Amber, because of my reactions to Amber. But I mean, be honest. When I started reacting to Amber on this channel, she was still living with wifey. She was still doing her failed diets. She was still doing her what I eat in a day crap. She was still faking her weigh-ins. She was a different character. I won't say person. She's always been this person. She was just a different character. And she was easier to react to. She was more fun to react to. Even when she was boring, and she was easier to react to, and she was more fun. We could have more fun reacting to her. This version of her on the LCU is not fun. It is, and in my mind, if she really is playing up a character, it's an unacceptable character that should not be encouraged. And I think reacting to her, especially reacting directly to her, encourages it. So as a reaction channel, I don't want to encourage it, so I'm not going to react to it. That being said, I do want to react to this last stream. It's not the very last stream, but this last stream that she's done where she just crashes out altogether. I do want to react to that. Now, all of that being said, I am aware that Salty Krab's channel was terminated, and I don't know any more than anybody else. I have my thoughts. I think Salty's channel was targeted. I don't know if it was targeted by Keem and the LCU, but I don't know who else would have targeted it if it was targeted. I don't have any evidence for any of that. It's just me speculating. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. So there you go. I'm still mad about losing this recording already. I've already done this once. That being said, I think it's a bunch of BS that Salty's channel gets taken down, but Boogie and the characters on the LCU get to stay up. Because Salty was just covering what Boogie said, but Boogie and the bigoted, racist, homophobic, transphobic characters on the LCU, they get to continue to sit there and spew their bullshit. That's fine. That's fine, YouTube. Okay. All right. Cool. So there you have that. But it's also, sorry, now I'm getting a headache. Now, it's also another reason to not cover the LCU. If Keem really was behind Salty getting attacked, Salty's channel getting taken down, I guess is what I should say. And again, I don't know. I have no evidence. I really don't know. I don't have any reason to think that it is. I am just saying, if Keem is the reason behind it, it doesn't make any sense for Keem to have done it, because reaction channels are pretty much the only reason Amber even had a channel to begin with. I know she doesn't like to believe that, but reaction channels are pretty much the only reason that Amber had a presence on the internet in the first place. And if he wants Amber to be his cash cow, his Boogie 2.0, he needs the reaction channels to continue to cover her. And he needs channels like Salty Krab to be there to cover her, so that everyone else will cover her as well. And the thing that I would like to say, and I know that some of the other channels have basically done what I'm asking people to do, is to just stop covering the LCU as part of the Girl World rotation. It's not worth it. It's really not. They're awful people, and they're not awful people in the way that Girl World awful usually is, right? They are just terrible people being terrible so that people will look at them, right? That is the purpose of this. They're not even like actually maybe even this terrible. They're just acting like this so that people will look at them. And that's awful in its own right? So I don't want to reward that, is kind of where I'm at with this. So maybe if Amber gets her channel back, that's a big maybe. We'll go back to reacting to whatever she puts up on her channel. But this LCU stuff, I have no interest in it whatsoever from this point forward. Try to do this with like minimal editing. So that being said, we are going to use a Cutdown edit. This is a new channel named Snowbear. A nice smaller channel. They only have 473 subscribers right now as of February the 11th. So I hope you guys enjoy this new Cutdown channel. They're going to hit on all of the bits and bobs that I want to talk about. I feel like closer to the end, we start to talk about Tommy's late partner, which I don't really want to get into too much because, yeah, I don't really want to get into that too much. It's irrelevant, honestly. So we may not end up watching the entire videos where I'm trying to go with that. Still trying to come down from being so mad. It's been a rough day, guys. Just imagine putting in an entire 6-hour day of work and then realizing all of it is trash. My mic recorded nothing. So I literally have to go back and record 6 hours of video today. So I basically have to redo tomorrow everything that I did today. I am so mad. And I have no one to be mad at but this thing and myself. So mad. 2026 is a year. 2026 has already been a year, and it's February the 11th. Anyway, all right. I'm going to speed this up to a minute 25. Yeah, I know it's a little fast at certain spots, but look, I've already done this once. I'm sorry. But yeah, so this will be linked in the description down below. I don't know. Give me a pity thumbs up. help soothe my anger, my rage with a pity thumbs up if you haven't done so already. All right, let's do this.
Mm-hmm. You slapped grape jelly on you. You are now part of the LCU, cow. So get the mooing, because you ain't no better than the rest, but we've all done it. Exactly.
Just imagine that this is what you've sold yourself to do. Like, just imagine that, right?
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me. We're going to take a look at last night's stream. This shit went on for 6+ hours. So I'm going to challenge myself to grab as many highlights as possible and to find some nuggets that are worth looking at. But I'm going to cut out a lot of it. There were some moments that got very aggressive. But then like a lot of it is some looping and repetitive arguments. So I'll cut some of that stuff out or just try to summarize it for you. So, if you're interested, let me see how much I can do. It's sort of like coming back after an injury. Let me just see how much I can do before it starts to hurt.
Fuck.
I really appreciate, I guess, I summary channels, I guess. Like this, like Salty's channel, like Apathetic Facts, like Snow Bear. There's other channels too. These are just the three. I'm really gonna miss Salty. And there was a video that I never got to react to or download. And it's like I have so much FOMO, where Salty actually went over the leaked scripts from the LCU, proving that this stuff is scripted. I never got to that video. I mentioned it a million times in the videos that I did about this being like the hate child of Jerry Springer and WWE, and now I'm really sad that I didn't get around to reacting to that. I didn't think we'd lose it, you guys. I guess it just shows you gotta react to things. You can't just let it sit. But yeah, like at this point, I owe Apathetic Facts money, man.
Let's not support a man speaking to a woman like that. I literally did nothing to him.
Look, I wasn't even pissed.
He hasn't even apologized to me. He has not spoken to me or nothing. That's fucked up. I will not be at fat camp if his fat hernia is there. Point blank period.
Bro, you gotta stop doing the manipulation bullshit, because then you're not gonna go, and then you're gonna be.
I don't want Keem on here. I don't want Keem on
And then
here.
you're gonna be.
This is a really interesting moment, because Amber tries to flex, I guess, on Keem, which is weird. But again, I don't know how much of this is real. And yes, this is my Fat Bitch Factory. Clock it in at the Fat Bitch Factory mug. I don't know how much of this is real. So...
And then you're gonna be mad that you're not there. By the way,
Oh.
I just kicked this bitch. I'm gonna kick her from the server too. Like, I don't know what the fuck she's thinking, but today's not the day.
So just to set a little bit of context, Scooter has quit, I guess, quote unquote quit. Everything has an asterisk. He'll probably be back. I don't think Scooter has anything else in his life. So this is a temporary move. And apparently there will be a new host on Monday, which is where you're hearing this from. It's tonight.
Spoilers. It's Scooter. This is what I'm talking about. The Scooter quit after going to the hospital with pneumonia. Who knows? I don't know. And Scooter is now back as the host. And Amber will threaten to quit later. And guess who's back?
And so I was talking about, in my last video, I was talking about how Amber kept going into the sleep stream. I guess it was like Mike and Tina, where they were doing a sleep stream. I'm not sure exactly what a sleep stream is. It's like you fall asleep and then you get donations to be woken up.
That sounds awful. That sounds like the worst thing ever. The LCU has like the worst ideas.
Amber kept like showing up, like popping into their stream and wouldn't leave, and they got like exponentially upset about ruining their show. And they're like, you're ruining our show. But then they're also just like, we made tons of money and it was great. So I don't know. Everybody's very butthurt. Everyone's very sensitive and butthurt in this world. It's very funny. All right, so you're caught up on like the first hour or so. Now we'll get to like the Amber shit.
Talk about makeup and shit. So make us believe that this is real. You guys are really friends or you guys are enemies? Which one is it?
Well,
Me or enemy, because I got some shit to say.
Yeah.
Her girlfriend is a fucking feeder, and everybody fucking knows it, and we're done protecting Emily. Fuck you want to know.
I'm actually gonna skip a lot of this right now because effectively, and this isn't shade on Snow Bear at all, but we can summarize this. Effectively, what happens is this person with the pink. This is Fupa Cheese, if you don't know. I think his name is Tech something. He has such a great voice. Like, he has, like, the best voice for radio. Apparently, he's super creepy. I mean, like, sending unwanted pictures to people creepy, if you catch my drift. So, he's funny as hell, though. It's unfortunate. Why must men be like that? Why do men think that people want pictures of their little man? We don't. If you ask for it, that's a totally different thing. But unless someone directly asks you for one, they don't want a picture of that. Don't send those out unless someone asks for it. You know, just a tip. Anyway. Oh, shit. Anyhow, to summarize, getting up to the point that I actually want to talk about, apparently up until this point, talking about Tommy/Emily has been off limits, which it really hasn't been. They've brought it up a lot across all of the LCU shows, but on Bus a lot. And so it has been a topic off and on, but in this storyline, it is now suddenly we can talk about it now, and that angers Amber. So basically that's where we get to, and Amber and Fupa Cheese. Fupa Cheese is supposedly a detractor channel. I think she started off reacting to Foodie, but she got hired after Sweet Tea got fired. Why do I know all of this? Anyway, so Fupa Cheese got hired specifically to be an antagonist to Amber, but really all they do is just kind of yell at each other. Amber just throws insults at Fupa Cheese about her makeup, about her hair. Well, not her hair. About her makeup, about the shape of her head. Okay. Typical Amber crap where she just talks about her state of her genitalia, how often she's getting laid, things like that. Amber fights like a 9-year-old that has just learned what cuss words are. Nothing against 9-year-olds. It really shows where her intellectual level is, and it's not fun to watch. It really isn't. It's really not fun to watch. It's actually mildly disturbing, and that's another reason why I just have no desire to continue reacting to the LCU stuff, because like that's pretty much all she does. She just yells, insults people with the same insults. She never really comes up with anything new. And then the other thing that she does is basically she just demands that people be muted or kicked off the, not actually kicked, but she probably would do that. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. That's what she does. Now, Snow Bear's going to make a really good point, but let's get to where I want to be first. Okay, we're going to come back to this point where Amber decides to use a very interesting analogy. Just again, going back to Amber's intellectual level. I'm sorry. I don't have a kinder way of putting it.
If someone does, no, I'm gonna be for real right now. If someone does,
there's going to be a lot of like blank spaces where there should be words, and that's majorly because YouTube and what's happened to Salty's channel, and I just don't want to screw with YouTube right now. So I'm sorry if there's a bunch of blank spots or maybe even like geese squeaks or whatever. Blame YouTube. I'm sorry.
Of guys like shitting on their chest or something. Do you think that they also do that in real life?
Maybe,
Not all.
yeah.
Not all, right?
Everyone is confused. If you're confused, it's okay. Everyone is confused.
The things that you are seeing.
I don't get the
I'm
point.
about to fucking tell you the point.
With this tech guy. This is why I think he's funny. He just like gives no F's right now. And he's just like, he gets some food now. This is another reason why I wanted to watch this part. Because someone brings him food. And he just starts eating his food.
People do adult content. It is 2026. People started it forever ago, right?
Right.
What you see online is the only thing that you know, right?
I don't understand what she's trying to get at.
So of course you guys are going to look at this and be like, oh, okay, so
Okay,
this is who this
listen.
person is. No,
Amber.
that was her fucking job.
Amber.
Okay.
So Amber's argument about why there is so much material out there of Colleen and Emily doing their is because that was the only way she had of making money. But Colleen was very clearly on benefits. She was living in a care facility, which is extraordinarily expensive. So I'm sure she had some kind of benefit covering that. And she also received benefits. I can find the screenshot. But she was receiving benefits, so she did have other ways of receiving money. If she made money outside of it doing that was in addition and probably under the table.
I want to go back and read those real fast. Yeah. These are not new. These are not new to the community. People have seen these. These came out probably around the same time Tommy even was known to the community. So if you've heard these before, don't be surprised. Some of you may not have, and I like to read things when they pop up on the screen. Please excuse my squinting. The first one says, Anonymous, Tuesday, 21st November of 2023. Yeah, remember, Colleen passed away in 2023. Timeline. Colleen and I love sitting in FaceTime reading these comments. We are flattered you think we are fake. Yes, we have a new combined account. No, we haven't accepted any money from anyone. Yes, we are sorry to hear about your crack problem. There are plenty of resources out there to assist you with that. Willow. Willow is one of Tommy's nicknames. And then the next one says OF by Colleen, Thursday, 07, December 2023. Today is February the 11th, by the way, if you haven't heard me ranting about that. Guys, if I did an OF, I'd have taxes on anything over 600, and I'd likely lose my benefits, which I had to fight like hell to get. I just can't do that. I'm not comfortable asking someone else to put in their name either. Willow and I have talked about some things, but ultimately I can't risk my health care or other benefits. So, again, it's the internet. Emily is not exactly the most honest person. So, grain of salt, I suppose. I have no reason to doubt Colleen in any way, shape, or form. So we're just going to take Colleen at her word. Also, there's no way to talk to Colleen anymore. Colleen has passed. So that also makes the end part of this video kind of uncomfortable. But we're going to take Colleen at her word that Colleen was not taking money because that would affect Colleen directly, right? Emily may or may not be lying. Amber is desperate to make us believe that these pictures exist because Colleen was doing adult content for money. I don't even understand why. Because it doesn't negate the fact that these pictures exist. My guy keeps like, I keep pushing my dude over. I think because he's like right in my eyesight here. Anyway.
How can you stop that? You're the fucking boss, you dumb fuck. You're the boss.
Tech.
Yeah, but I can't stop anything. This is like Savage situation.
Tell me you've never had a real job in your adult life without telling me you've never had a real job in your adult life.
Keem, whether Keem likes her calling him that or not, Keem likes this kind of drama. He likes to egg this on. Egg? Yeah, I think so. So whether he's feeling insulted or not by Amber saying these kind of things on live, I don't know. Don't actually care either. But he will needle her to keep her going, right? And again, I don't know how much of this is scripted. I really don't. The concept of soft scripting is, you know, Keem says XYZ, Amber gets frustrated and yells. Okay. Now, what does Amber yell? Unless there's something very specific they need her to say, it's just up to her to yell whatever. And she's very good at yelling. So now there is this part coming up though. This part coming up though.
Yikes.
Now it's, oh, but not on the channel. Like, this is so dumb. Like, trying to.
You're fucking dumb.
No,
It's you.
everybody already knows.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well,
Things. The fact that neither Fupa or Tech, we're just going to call him Tech because I don't know what else to call him, they don't react at all. Everyone else, literally everyone else I've seen who has watched this has reacted. I reacted when she did that. When I watched this the first, I forget who I watched it through. Probably Salty. When I heard that happen, I was like, whoa. I reacted. When I watched Kicking Geese watch it for the first time, she reacted. When I watched Zachary Michael watch it for the first time, they reacted. When I watched Scar reacted. Everyone I've watched this moment for the first time, everyone has done something to the effect of, whoa, right? Oh, I got an itch right in the middle of my back. Neither Fupa or Tech even flinch. It's very strange. And the reason why I bring it up that people watching the video visibly flinch is because we're all watching it through a camera, including Fupa and Tech. So if all of us are watching it through a camera, through a video screen, and we all react, these two are there in real time. Yeah, they're watching it through a screen, but it's in real time. And they don't even like blink. It's strange, right? But for those of you who are listening, I'm just playing it back real slow so I can watch Amber's face. But like, Tech isn't even like looking. He's just eating his food. Yeah, see, and Amber's pissed. Don't get me wrong. Amber's mad. This is a very mad face for Amber. But Fupa is like... All right, she's done screeching. No, he does look up. He does look up. All right. She sits back from screaming. Let's say that there's some kind of delay. He has looked up. They just don't react. They just don't react. And I just find that really odd. Which doesn't help the arguments that people had. Because there are some people who are saying this moment is completely scripted. And the fact that these two just have no fucking reaction to it doesn't help that argument. Now, I have never, in the entire time I've been watching her, and I've watched her back since the Beck era, right? I've been watching her since the Beck era. I've been reacting since Wifey. I've never heard her screech like that, right? I've never heard it. Maybe it has happened and I've blanked it. I've filed it away into the black hole that is the back of my brain. Maybe, but I've never heard her scream like that. I've never seen her scream like that. I've never seen this reaction before, ever. So, I mean, if it has happened, let me know, and I'll go back and double check it. But like, because I need a comparison, that would be great. But like, well, I can't compare it anymore because she's deleted everything off of her channel. That doesn't matter. It's out there somewhere. But the point is, her facial expressions are where they should be for someone who is genuinely angry and distressed and where she's at in this moment as far as anger, right? It's just that lack of reaction from her co-hosts, right? That's just throwing me so hard because, like I said, I've watched a lot of people react to this now, and every one of them has had some kind of just reaction. Every single one of them has, whether they Zachary Michael screamed. That was pretty funny. But the one thing that everyone has done, and what is a natural reaction to do, especially when someone leans in like that, is, like she was doing, is to lean back. Even on a camera. Because, you know, the brain's weird. So she lunges, right? Neither of these two. He barely looks up. And Fupa's eyes, I think, they get wide, but I don't think they're getting wide because she's yelling. I think they're getting wide because Fupa was still making her point. So, I don't know. That's enough dwelling on that, though. Is this where Snowbear makes her point, though?
You know, relationship, and I don't want to protect the person that's like using you. So you're muted. You're not now.
I mean, I'm here to tell you that I'm quitting.
Don't.
Okay. Amber threatens to quit like every 5 minutes, so we're gonna skip over this part because I want to get to the point that Snowbear makes. Okay, we're back to Snowbear.
Yeah, so this is a big exclusive. Amber has quit. She has quit the bus. She's no longer on the bus. Amber's not on the bus anymore. Just kidding. She's still on the show. And this has been the argument, is that she was gonna leave the LCU once she gets her channel monetization back. And I don't think she's gonna get monetized. I don't think she's gonna get remonetized personally. And I don't think she's going anywhere. I think she's addicted to the screaming, quite frankly. I think that whatever sort of toxic sort of links she has to her girlfriends, she has now transferred to the show, and she's addicted to that.
I dwelled on this the first time, and this is where I found out that my mic was not recording. So, that I think is a really interesting point, and one I had not considered until I heard this from Snowbear. That Amber is addicted to the screaming, and that this is the important part, that she has transferred her toxic relationship with her girlfriends onto the show. There was a super chat. I don't remember if Snow Bear has it or if I've just heard it enough times through Apathetic Facts, that said, you're witnessing in real time how Amber likes to manipulate the situation. And I don't think that was verbatim, but it was pretty damn close. And I don't think it's wrong. And I think Snow Bear is backing up that super chat. And I can see it, I guess is where I'm going with that. We have enough stories from reliable sources that align with what we just witnessed, with Amber shrieking and lunging into the camera, and with other behavior that Amber has been demonstrating, not just in this live, but in other lives as well, where she, she's constantly threatening to quit. I think Keem even calls her out for being manipulative with that. She's constantly trying to control who is in the digital space by muting them or demanding that they be removed, or removing them herself with, trying to kick Keem out, but that didn't work so well. But she tried. And then another thing that she's pretty notorious for doing is talking over the super chats when she gets them. If she doesn't want to listen to them, she'll just talk over them. And that's another thing that the past reliable sources have said that she does. She'll just yell until you give up. And then with the crying and the anger, the very scary outward anger. Imagine that happening IRL. Like, imagine that happening to you in your face. Like, I know a lot of people will be joking like, oh, I would blah, blah, blah. Be for real, though. I know a lot of you think you're hard and you're like so tough and like, yeah, I'll just knock her on her ass. Be for real for a minute. You have a 600-pound woman lunging at you, shrieking like a howling monkey in your face directly, right? What are you going to do? How do you handle that? Even if you put your hand out to stop her, that's 600 pounds of momentum, man. How do you handle that? That's terrifying, right? That made pretty much everybody I watched jump watching it. Imagine that in real life. So, but I just thought that was a really interesting point that Snow Bear brought up that I honestly hadn't thought of before. I can't remember if it was Salty or if it was Apathetic Facts that brought up a similar, not about the relationship part, but a similar thing about Amber enjoying the screaming or enjoying the yelling and the drama, because there was talk about replacing Scooter. I got to remember everybody's names. And one of the suggested, or Fupa says, I don't want to pick Gidgy. And Amber's like, why not? And Gidgy says Fupa says, because Gidgy doxes people and I don't want that kind of drama or something like that. And Amber says, people like the drama. They like the yelling. That would be great. And then it's suggested that they bring in, God, what was her name? Another reactor, or another host. And she was the girl from the very first episode of Bus who busted in on Scooter while he was trying to record. And you have to be there for the very first episode. And Amber was like, no, I won't be here if that's who you end up picking, because then it'll be 2-on-1 and I just won't have it. And I forget if it was Apathetic Facts or if it was Salty, but they pointed out that Amber's all about the drama and the yelling and that kind of entertainment, as long as she has control of it and she's not the target of it, right? So she was all for having Gigi there, Gigi who has, you know, a record of doxing people. Who wants to get doxed? But she doesn't want to be the target of two people attacking and questioning her, because that's not fun. It's not fun for her, but it might be fun for them. And that would be great entertainment, right, guys? So that was what was pointed out there. But I do like the point that Snow Bear made here.
Is it more healthy? I don't know. None of my business. I'm just here to watch.
You said that Emily committed domestic violence against you. She kicked you one time when y'all had that altercation in the bedroom, and then another time she kicked you off the couch. And now she went to Rachel saying that you fucking lied. So which is the truth? Either you lied about the domestic violence situation, or Emily is now saying that you lied about it, or it really did happen and she's a terrible person.
I'm not talking about this.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. So Fupa earned her paycheck right there, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's extremely clear. Either you lied about something horrific, or you were telling the truth about something horrific. Either way, like, these things are on the table. You brought them to us. We didn't make any of that up. It came out of your mouth, Amber. So let's clear things up. And she is. She's caught in a trap, and she's done. She's not talking about it.
and they were in Wisconsin.
You are nothing but a fucking drama bitch. You are literally a sociopath to see someone cry this hard and just fucking keep pouring salt on the wound. You are crazy.
I wanted to go over this part only because Fupa hasn't done anything that would classify as psychopathy or sociopathy, other than Amber doesn't want to answer the question. But the crying, going back to the crying, this is Amber's fake crying, and we know it because it looks like all of Amber's other fake crying. This is what it looks like when Amber fake cries. Comparing that to that snarl that she did when she just lashed out earlier. The difference between her real emotions and her fake emotions. I'm 90% sure that was a real emotion. I'll give it 10% that it wasn't. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and like die on that hill. Let me put it that way. But Amber, right here, going back to Snow Bear's point, she's doing so many things at one time, right? She's crying. She's accusing Fupa of being a sociopath. And she's like, oh my God, I'm crying. How could you possibly be attacking me while I'm crying? It's not a fucking force field, man. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't deal with tears. A lot of people don't find tears to be like a universal stay away. Like, crying's the last thing you want to do with me if we're in an argument. Right. Let me skip ahead a little bit more. I think, okay, I do want to go over briefly this last part, or this will be the last part that I want to go over. Amber tries to walk back all the things she's said about Emily in the past by telling us she lied. But we should trust her now, because now she's telling the truth. And it's just the most interesting thing I've ever heard. Is like, don't believe what I said when back then, believe me now. Why should I believe you at either point now that you've, again, blatantly admitted that you lie? Amber has these moments where she just, this is why no one believes her. This is why everyone thinks she's a liar, because she tells us she is with her literal mouth. Tells us she's a liar, right? Like, were you lying then? Are you lying now? Apparently she's lying now. Wait, no, she was lying then. Sorry, she's telling the truth now. But the things she was lying about then are pretty fucking heinous. So either way, it's still pretty bad, right? But my mind is just kind of not blown, but just kind of like stuttering along, trying to kind of figure this one out, just kind of like trying to process. It's like, it's not quite processing this one. And I don't know why in her head this seemed like the logical argument to make, but it did. Oh, it would help if I'm over here.
I don't think that's
It
controversial.
sucks because it's like it didn't bleed into real life. Tommy is not that way with me. She does not force me to, like, yes, during crash outs, like when I crash out, I will say the most unhinged shit you guys have ever heard, ever. And I never, ever mean it.
I don't care. I don't care if you don't mean it. If you're having a crash out and you say the most unhinged shit, we're done. I don't care.
I don't know if it's the BPD, the rage. I don't know what the fuck it is.
It's you needing help is what it is.
I will literally tell you, I hope that you fucking die, bitch. And I do not mean that.
We're done. I don't know why people put up with that kind of stuff. I really don't.
Okay, so her argument is that all of the evidence, all of the enormous amounts of evidence of Emily's FEEterism was just to make money, which is we all know is bullshit. We know that and I cut out a bunch of stuff. She talks about like other people engaging in these kinds of this kind of transactional relationship. That it is, then she's saying it's only transactional, and we can see that it's not transactional. We can see, you can see on Colleen that it's not transactional, that someone was enabling her, and that person was probably the closest person to her. And the gaslighting of Amber saying, well, when I crash out, I just say crazy things. Girl, you're crashing out right now. So it's just like, it's impossible. She's like, well, I meant it then, but I didn't mean it now, but I didn't mean it then, but what I mean now is not what I meant then. But when I said it then, I meant it, and that was the actual truth. So now what I'm saying now is the truth, but that wasn't the truth. Like how I don't, we need her to like sit down and tell the truth and let that be the truth so that we can say, this is what you said.
But she's just gonna at some point in the future be like, yeah, but that wasn't the truth. I was lying then because reasons. Okay. Why?
And it's impossible. So God, I feel so bad for the people in her life. I really do, genuinely, even the shitty ones. Well, not Emily. But.
Oh my
God. I think she does it again. Hang on. Yeah. So I don't really want to talk about again Tommy's former partner. I don't think we're gonna do it, but I do want to play this part where Amber tries to walk back her accusations about Tommy cheating or looking at pictures of other women.
Unbiased point of view.
There's so much. And what about when you said Emily was looking at fat bitches?
I lied. I fucking lied. That's what I did.
Lied because then she was caught on TikTok trying to slide into someone else's DMs, and that girl was morbidly obese, laying in hospital bed with an oxygen tank.
Are you talking about Zio?
I don't know what the fuck her name is.
That's just a friend of both of us.
Really?
You're a friend of Zio's? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Now, there is evidence that Tommy sent Zio, I think her full name is Zio the Dreamer, or Zio. There is some evidence apparently, that Tommy sent Zio DoorDash while Zio was in the rehab. Anyway, Zio is also another larger woman, and Zio was in a care facility for something, but mostly Zio was in care facility because she's a giant woman and she had some health issues around her large size, and Tommy was sending her DoorDash while she was in the hospital effectively.
I was trying to slide up and
it wasn't a romance. It's her saying stuff like that is spreading rumors and false bullshit.
Mena Will said
She was in Zio's DMs. She was also in the DMs of someone named Spanx Beluga,
Oh yeah.
who I
remember
think that was probably almost immediately after she lost her fiance. I am very curious to know how many other DMs she's in, and I think all we have to do is wait for that information, quite frankly.
Somebody else pointed out, I think we're going to stop here, honestly. Somebody else also pointed out that Tommy has a pattern of reaching out to very large women who have large followings on social media. And that seems to be Tommy's MO. So, because Zio has a large social media presence for who she is. I mean, she's not like, I don't know, some kind of like well-known celebrity, but she's well-known for who she is. Amber had a huge social media presence. Spanx Beluga, I believe, also has a larger following. And Colleen, this is all I'm going to say about this. Colleen apparently also was well-known before her and Tommy got together, because I think Colleen had been on Dr. Phil, something like that. So Colleen wasn't a nobody in the community. And yeah, so Tommy has this desire for well-known larger women. This just seems to be her pattern. There you go. So, putting that out there. All right, I think I want to wrap up here with this video, just because from here on out, it's just Amber crashing out more. And then, yeah, I don't really want to, I don't really care. But I do want you guys to go check out Snowbear's video. Definitely, if you want to watch the rest of it, it's really good. It's a good cut down. I think even Snowbear at the end is just like, man, I had to tap out. So, I mean, 6 hours is a lot, y'all. So, but she did get through quite a bit of it. So go give that a look if you would like. Definitely watch the video, give it a thumbs up. If you really like it, give her a follow. But yeah, if you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and put a ice cube. There's ice cubes, right? Put an ice cube, because it's cold, down in the comment section. And I still don't have hot water. Down in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think. Did you watch all 6 hours of this? What was your favorite part of the crash out? Do you agree with me that that her screeching was genuine? I don't think her crying, I think the majority of her crying throughout this was performative. I don't think most of it was real. I really don't. And I also think Keem definitely, if he didn't discuss it with her, he definitely discussed it with the other two hosts, that they were to talk about Emily during this episode. So this was soft scripted in my opinion, but how soft scripted, I don't know. And that's the other reason why I can't watch this. I can't watch it because I don't like the story. I don't like the story, you guys. So there you go. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say in the moment. I don't really have any concluding thoughts. And I'm running out of words, and I need to go put everything back together so I can go re-record what I recorded earlier. Woo! Wish me luck. Pray for me. Pray for me. And that's all I've got. So yeah, your emojis and ice cube. Go ahead and leave that down below. Let me know what you guys think, and go check out Snowbear. And thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. And I will see everybody in the next video, which will not be an Amber video.
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.